Around 13 years ago, I used to come and have to walk over this 4 or 5 foot high stone fence that would be here in the forest when I was going to speak to Hashem. Now I come a few years later and I could just walk right over it as the forest has risen with many years of leaves and winters and summers rising the floor of the forest. So the question that many ask, maybe even we've discussed it, is that how's Mashiach going to come if all of the tzaddikim of the older generations, greats of all the generations, never succeeded in bringing Mashiach yet? So there's many answers. Reb Nosson has the answer that it's like a huge wall of a fortified city, and the big, strong soldiers come and knock at it, and they don't succeed in knocking it down. Smaller ones and smaller ones knock at it, they don't succeed in knocking it down, and finally, a little kid with a little plastic hammer comes and knocks the whole wall down. So obviously he didn't do it, but in the end he did, because all of the fractures that were created by all the other generations weakened the wall until he was able to knock it down. So if we continue that imagery and hear a very interesting mashal that this guy Meir K gave out on the internet last week, we see an amazing thing. He said the story of the donkey, an old donkey that fell into an old well, and the farmer looked and he said, there's no point, we're not getting out the donkey, and we're not going to deal with the well anymore. Let's just fill up the well with the donkey. So they started digging and pouring the dirt, him and a few friends, onto the donkey. The donkey was screaming like crazy. He's being buried alive. After a minute or so, it's quiet. And they keep digging. It's quiet. So they think, wow, this donkey must be a tzaddik. He's makabel everything, ba'ahava. And they look down, and no, it's not like that. The donkey, every time they throw a clod of earth on his back, he shakes it off and steps up, shakes it off and steps up, shakes it off and steps up, until at the end of all the digging, when the well was filled, the donkey just walked right out. If you extend that to the wall separating us from Mashiach, maybe all the tzaddikim, all the generations, and all of the pogroms and Holocaust and all of the hardships that Klal Yisrael went through, and we shook it off and remained strong, being Yidden, was the dirt that allowed us to rise up. And one day, we're just going to rise up and see that we're above the wall and walk right into the Geula Shlema. Have a good one.